My father betrayed Mom's memory by starting an affair with her sister shortly after her passing, evicted me, but my cousin's note revealed. My father began a relationship with my aunt mere weeks after my mother's death, forced me out of our home, yet my cousin allowed the truth about their selfish plot to surface and altered the course of everything. I, a 17-year-old, resided with my father. My mother left this world less than a year ago. She had battled cancer for an extended period, frequently admitted to hospitals since I was barely 1. The final years weighed heavily on our household. As the only provider, Dad left me to become Mom's main caregiver. Occasionally, her sister, my Aunt Edna, 38, would lend a hand, but the responsibility fell chiefly on me and Mom. I gave my all to support her and would repeat every effort without hesitation. I miss her profoundly. Her absence aches daily. Even now, I drift to sleep only after sharing my day with her in quiet conversation. Her memory refuses to fade for me, though it seems others have let it slip away. Sometimes it feels as if she never walked these rooms. The same cannot be said for my father. I can't fathom why, but he transformed completely. Moving forward from Mom came swiftly for him. He removed every photograph of her. He avoids mentioning her name and keeps no keepsakes. This baffles me, because from my earliest memories, their love filled our home. It was just us three, wrapped in warmth and joy. Then illness struck, and that glow dimmed. Toward the end, Dad grew short-tempered and distant. I hate admitting it, but it seemed he was counting the days until her struggle ended. He lingered at work, evading time with her. Watching that unfold broke my heart, but Mom was too exhausted to notice her husband's withdrawal. I stepped into his place as best I could, though I know I fell short. Then Dad did the unthinkable. Weeks after Mom's funeral, he started seeing Aunt Edna. No moment in my life has ignited such fury and sense of betrayal. How could he rebound so fast? They shared 2 decades of marriage. How effortless was it to swap her for another, her own sibling, no less? It felt repulsive. Dad claimed I couldn't grasp it yet, but maturity would bring clarity. For now, I simply had to honor his choice. I declared my hatred and vowed never to accept his union with his late wife's sister. I demanded to know how he erased her so easily, but he offered no reply. Our argument exploded. I hurled every insult imaginable, yet his only defense was that I'd comprehend someday. I called him vile and wished never to mirror such a man. My words cut deep, and I intended them to. I wanted him to taste the agony tearing through me, the pain Mom would endure if she knew. It was obscene, and everyone painted me as the antagonist for rejecting their bond. Even Aunt Edna approached me, suggesting I should feel glad it stayed in the family to ease my grieving. I nearly struck her. I clarified this wasn't a breakup to get over. This was my mother, and her death would never be something I moved past. I informed Aunt Edna that filling Dad's life didn't entitle her to mine. She insisted she sought no replacement, only a fresh start. I rejected any interest in a new household. My family consisted of Mom and Dad. If he opted for a new one with her, erasing Mom's legacy, I wanted no part. They persisted in persuading me, but I stood resolute. The tension escalated until I barricaded myself in my room, emerging only for meals or school. I rebuffed every overture from Dad, and eventually he ceased trying. We coexisted in a silent standoff, the atmosphere thick with toxicity. I knew he anticipated my surrender so he could force acceptance. But I held firm. He didn't require my approval, yet I could never endorse this, especially not so soon. I believed this was his nature, but he plunged lower. 6 weeks ago, Aunt Edna, Dad's girlfriend, moved in. Relations between Dad and me remained fractured. He gave no warning. I awoke to noise and found Aunt Edna hauling luggage and cartons. I questioned her, but she ignored me and retreated to her space. I confronted Dad. His response was a sarcastic, "Oh, now you speak to me." I restrained the urge to lash out physically. It was nauseating. This woman wasn't content seizing Mom's spouse. Now she claimed her home and echoes. Every moment under that roof felt like suffocation. I couldn't tolerate their presence. I'd already relocated Mom's belongings to my room, my sanctuary. I knew Aunt Edna would discard them given half a chance. She attempted it repeatedly, inquiring about Mom's items. Dad revealed I kept them locked away. She devised excuses to enter my space, but I barred her each time. Her proximity to Mom's essence felt profane. I secured my door even for school. I yearned to escape entirely. Everything shifted a fortnight ago when Aunt Edna's daughter, Rachel, 19, arrived. Rachel and I once shared a sibling-like bond. Our ages aligned, so childhood was filled with companionship. Mom's illness pulled me away, and we drifted, though sporadic contact persisted. Aunt Edna installed Rachel in the house. I felt a spark of relief, anticipating an ally. But Dad declared the house lacked space for 4, so I needed to bunk with a friend temporarily until arrangements solidified. I stared in shock. If space was insufficient, why invite Rachel? He explained she faced crisis, and family obligated aid. I countered that I was family too, like Mom had been, yet he discarded us the instant Aunt Edna appeared. He offered no rebuttal, merely insisting I compromise or face consequences. At this point, his depravity no longer shocked me. I anticipated the worst from him. I could have stayed with friends, but Mom's possessions haunted my thoughts. Absence would allow Aunt Edna free rein, and Dad wouldn't intervene. Anxiety consumed me. I refused to depart. I locked myself in. Hours later, Edna pounded, pleading for dialogue, but I ignored her. I remained sequestered that day, paranoia peaking. Next morning, I rose early, secured my room, and ventured downstairs for food. To my horror, Dad lay in wait on the sofa. He blocked my path to the kitchen, declaring I had 1 week to vacate. They couldn't sustain me. He prioritized Rachel, labeling me an intolerable, thankless child. He'd provide minimal funds from kindness, but I must yield space for his new family. Tears streamed as I realized this stranger wasn't my father. I'd thought one parent lost, but now both were gone. Legally, the house was his. He funded me. He owed nothing, especially with my 18th birthday nearing. Hypocrisy burned. He'd house 19-year-old Rachel, but not his son. Perhaps he'd always been this self-centered, revealed by grief. I retreated, sobbing. Abandonment by my sole surviving parent stung despite months of estrangement. I'd clung to hope of reconciliation, feeling foolish now. He cared only for Aunt Edna. I fretted over Mom's items, willing to keep mere clothing for myself but never parting with her remnants. A knock came. It was Rachel. She urged contacting maternal grandpa and slipped a letter beneath the door. Distrust lingered. She was Edna's daughter, but desperation won. I phoned Grandpa interstate. His voice unleashed my tears. I recounted the nightmare, mentioning Rachel's role. He'd sought contact for months. Dad lied, claiming disinterest. Grandpa lost contacts in a phone mishap and never received my number. He promised resolution, arriving soon, but cautioned secrecy and to remain home guarding Mom's belongings. Relief and fear mingled, relief at adult guidance, fear of the unknown. Grandpa's usual cheer had vanished. Doubt crept. Would he side with me over his other daughter? Waiting felt endless. The tide turned dramatically. Clarity emerged with Grandpa's arrival. He summoned me to his hotel, instructing to bring Mom's items via sent car. I informed Dad and Edna of departure, Rachel absent at work. At the hotel, Grandpa sifted until unearthing house deeds. He revealed, at our births, he gifted properties to Rachel and me, wealth I'd never suspected. Instead of college funds, outright homes. Mine was our lifelong residence. As minors, titles held by mothers until 18. I remained unaware. Mom's illness likely clouded it. Dad's silence spoke volumes. Rachel's transferred post-18. Mine, with Mom's passing pre-18, defaulted temporarily to Dad, until Grandpa suspected scheming to usurp before my birthday. Their rummaging, distance, Edna's intrusion, all clicked. Rachel, upon learning, evicted Edna from her own gifted home, straining ties further. Rachel monitored, liaising with Grandpa to extract me and unveil truth. Her move-in masked concern. Edna assumed reconciliation. With months to 18, Mom, suspecting Dad's affair and asset grab, secretly amended guardianship to Grandpa. Dad's plans crumbled. He lacked authority. Grandpa would reside with me until 18, evicting Dad and Edna. Power unnerved me. I deferred to Grandpa, craving peace amid exhaustion. Confrontation unfolded. Dad and Edna blanched, seeing us united. Grandpa entered with lawyer, protests silenced by documents. He issued 1-month notice as guardian. Dad raged, alleging fraud, proof rendered him mute. Rachel smirked. She embraced me, gratitude overflowed. Edna, realizing betrayal, struck Rachel, drawing blood. Rachel vowed charges, grinning defiantly. Edna collapsed, pleading. Dad sought private talk, Grandpa blocked. I unleashed fury, failure as husband, father, man, words blurred in rage. Rachel comforted upstairs. Gratitude for her and Grandpa anchored me. No tearful reunion. Rachel pursued assault charges. Grandpa settled in. Dad given deadline, attempts at dialogue thwarted. Mom's items secured. I'll restore them post-departure, sealing her room. Therapy funds provided despite Grandpa's skepticism. Rachel visits daily, bridging lost years, aiding therapist search and companionship. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.